it seems that naturally with human beings, just like you beautifully described the history of this whole thing, of it all started with the genes, and they're probably pretty upset by all the unintended consequences that happened since. But it seems that it kind of works out, like it's in this collective intelligence that emerges at the different levels. It seems to find sometimes last minute a way to realign the values or keep the values aligned. It's almost it finds a way, like different leaders, different humans pop up all over the place that reset the system. Do you one? I mean, do you have an explanation why that is, or is that just survivor
Yeah.
bias? And also, is that different, somehow fundamentally different than with the AI systems, where you're no longer dealing with something that was a direct, maybe companies are the same, a direct byproduct of the evolutionary process.
I think there is one thing which has changed. That's why I'm not all optimistic. That's why I think there's about a 50% chance if we take the dumb route with artificial intelligence that humanity will be extinct in this century. Uh, First, just the big picture. Yeah, companies need to have the right incentives. Even governments, right? We used to have governments. Usually, there were just some king, who was the king because his dad was the king, and then there were some benefits of having this powerful kingdom or empire of any sort, because then it could prevent a lot of local squabbles. So at least
Right.
everybody in that region would stop warring against each other, and their incentives of different cities in the kingdom became more aligned, right? That was the whole selling point.
Yes.
Harari,
Yeah.
Noah Yuval Harari has a beautiful piece on how empires were collaboration enablers, and then Harari says, invented money for that reason, so we could have better alignment and we could do trade even with people we didn't know.
Yeah.
So this sort of stuff has been playing out since time immemorial, right? What's changed is that it happens on ever larger scales, right? The technology keeps getting better because science gets better. So now we can communicate over larger distances, transport things fast over larger distances, and so the entities get ever bigger, but our planet is not getting bigger anymore. So in the past, you could have one experiment that just totally screwed up, like Easter Island, where they actually managed to have such poor alignment that when they went extinct, people there was no one else to come back and replace them,
Yes.
right? If Elon Musk doesn't get us to Mars and then we go extinct on a global scale, then we're not coming back. That's the fundamental difference. And that's a mistake I would rather that we don't make for that reason. In the past, of course, history is full of fiascos, right? But it was never the whole planet.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now there's this nice uninhabited land here. Some other people could move in and organize things better. This is different. The second thing, which is also different, is that technology gives us so much more empowerment, right? Both to do good things and also to screw up. In the Stone Age, even if you had someone whose goals were really poorly aligned, like maybe he was really pissed off because his Stone Age girlfriend dumped him and he just if he wanted to like kill as many people as he could,
Yeah.
how many could he really take out with a rock and a stick before he was overpowered, right?
Right.
Just handful, right?
Yeah.
Now, with today's technology, if we have an accidental nuclear war between Russia and the US, which we almost have about a dozen times, and then we have a nuclear winter, it could take out 7 billion people or 6 billion people, or we don't know. So the scale of the damage is bigger that we can do. And if there's obviously no law of physics that says that technology will never get powerful enough that we could wipe out our species entirely. That would just be fantasy to think that science is somehow doomed to not get more powerful than that, right? And it's not at all unfeasible in our lifetime that someone could design a designer pandemic which spreads as easily as COVID, but just basically kills everybody. We already had smallpox. It killed 1/3 of everybody who got it.
What do you think of here's an intuition, maybe it's completely naive and this optimistic intuition I have, which it seems, and maybe it's a biased experience that I have, but it seems like the most brilliant people I've met in my life all are really like fundamentally good human beings, and not like naive good. Like they really want to do good for the world in a way that, well, maybe is aligned to my sense of what good means. And so I have a sense that the the people that will be defining the very cutting edge of technology, there will be much more of the ones that are doing good versus the ones that are doing evil. So the race, I'm optimistic on the us always like last minute coming up with a solution. So if there's an engineered pandemic that has the capability to destroy most of the human civilization, it feels like to me, either leading up to that, before, or as it's going on, there will be we're able to rally the collective genius of the human species. I could tell by your smile that you're at least some percentage doubtful, but is that could that be a fundamental law of human nature, that evolution only creates like karma is beneficial, good is beneficial, and therefore we'll be all right?
I hope you're right. I would love it if you're right. If there's some sort of law of nature that says that we always get lucky in the last second because of karma, but I prefer I prefer not playing it so close and
Yes.
gambling on that. And I think, in fact, I think it can be dangerous to have too strong faith in that
Yes.
because it makes us complacent. Like if someone tells you you never have to worry about your house burning down, then you're not going to put in a smoke detector because why would you need to, right?
Right.
Even if it's sometimes very simple precautions, we don't take them. If we're like, oh, the government is going to take care of everything for us, I can always trust my politicians. We abdicate our own responsibility. I think it's a healthier attitude to say, yeah, maybe
Yes.
things will work out. Maybe I'm actually going to have to myself step up and take responsibility. And the stakes are so huge. I mean, if we do this right, we can develop all this ever more powerful technology and cure all diseases and create a future where humanity is healthy and wealthy for not just the next election cycle, but like billions of years throughout our universe. That's really worth working hard for, and not just, you know, sitting and hoping for some
Hoping.
sort of fairy tale karma.
Well, I just mean, so you're absolutely right. From the perspective of the individual, like for
Yeah.
me, like the primary thing should be to take responsibility and to build the solutions that your skill set allows to build.
Yeah, which is a lot. I think we underestimate often very much how much good we can do.
Right.
If you or anyone listening to this is completely confident that our government would do a perfect job on handling any future crisis with engineered pandemics or future AI, I ask you to
The one or
reflect
two
a bit
people out there.
on what actually happened in 2020. And do you feel that the government, by and large, around the world has handled this flawlessly?
That's a really sad and disappointing reality that hopefully is a wake up call for everybody, for the scientists, for the engineers, for the researchers in AI especially. It was disappointing to see how inefficient we were at at collecting the right amount of data in a privacy preserving way, and spreading that data and utilizing that data to make decisions, all that kind of stuff.